Welcome to Good Mythical MORE. We are going to patch up your relationships. You submitted problems that you're having, little spats, arguments that you're having with your significant other, and we're gonna settle it here and now for you.
But first, we are going to donate $1,000 to the Los Angeles LGBT Center, which provides services for more LGBT Center than any other organization in the world, offering programs, services, and global advocacy in areas such as health, social services, education, leadership, and advocacy. And the mythical crew, we're actually all going to be a part of a big 5K that's happening sometime this year, and we're trying to raise $10,000. So if you want to be support the center and also support our team, go over to lalgbtcenter.org/mythical and give, y'all.
Thank you for being your mythical best. Also super excited to have all of this updated grooming collection and this comb, which we'll play with in a little bit. But Stevie, hit us with a lover's quarrel.
Well, this first one has contextually a bad username because it's Psycho Girl.
Okay.
You know, so but I feel like we shouldn't add this to the dilemma here.
Okay.
All right.
We argue on how to pronounce scallops. He's from New England and says scallops. I say scallops because that's the right way.
Scallops or scallops?
Scallops or scallops?
Scallops.
Been married for 13 years and dated for nearly 10 before that, and still argue about this every single time it comes up.
Scallops.
Scallops?
Here's what we
scallops?
can relate to with this is we can relate to the pecan situation, which interestingly enough, coming from South Georgia, which seems like it's even deeper south. I would have thought that the deeper you go in the south, the more you get pecan versus pecan, right? Because pecan almost sounds like pecan. But coming from South Georgia, where there was a lot of pecan trees, my family always said pecan.
Yeah, it reverted back. Or maybe we're just wrong about that. We haven't really landed on a solution. I mean, I'll just put something out, food for thought. If you are beginning the conversation, if you're the first person in a conversation to refer to this thing, say it how you want to say it, and then in that conversation, both of you have to say it that way.
But what if you just start?
So I think I'm ordering the scallops.
But what if you start?
Then you're like, I'm thinking about the scallops.
Frivolous conversations about scallops, just so you can say scallops.
Yeah, it could be a power play.
What do you say, by the way?
Scallops.
Scallops. Me
but
too.
You know what? I've said scallops.
I have said scallops.
I've never,
said
ever heard scallops.
I've heard it, and
I think my mom might say scallops.
There's syrup and syrup.
Yeah, and then there's syrup.
Syrup.
I just
Just
you
say
know
syrup.
I don't want to say there's not a solution, but I'm just saying just get over it.
I think this is a situation where they're both. This isn't like one person says especially and the other person says especially.
Right.
The person who says especially is wrong on every front because it's especially, not especially, right? Because the C is not at that place in the word. This is just a different pronunciation. So I just say let it lay. Come on, hug each other, love each other. But if you say especially, get off the boat.
Let's move on before we
I
change our
would like
minds.
to say Psycho Girl. Scallops. You're right. You're totally right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but
This is from at Lexor, who says Alexandra, who says my husband leaves his dresser drawers open constantly, not all the way open, just like an inch, which somehow makes it worse / more annoying to me. For him, near enough is good enough, apparently.
Well, I'm guilty of this. But you know what my wife is guilty of? Not fully tightening the tops of things. And that's a pet peeve of mine.
Well, yeah.
She gets mad at me about the dresser drawers.
This is more
and I get mad at her about the
What do
screw
you
tops.
mean? Give an example of what she doesn't tighten.
like an orange juice jug.
No, well, maybe. Usually it's like you'll pick up the peanut butter and you'll be like, oh, the top is just sitting on top of it. And then my kids inherited
that's wild.
this. My kids inherited
Just
this.
put it on there.
And then I'm like, here's what I don't understand.
I'm getting angry
Taking
hearing
the
about
time to put the top on, but then not screwing it all the way. Like that's
That's dangerous. Like, she's playing with fire.
Yeah, she is.
You could just drop that thing. They could go everywhere.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
But that's not really what we're talking about, I guess. We're talking about dresser drawers, which I got to stay out of this one because I'm guilty of this.
Christy and I are simpatico. I mean, we always push all our drawers in, and so we're on the same page. I feel for you, Alexandra. I think you need to make this an issue of love. I think you need to have a conversation and say, this may not matter to you, and it may make you upset that it matters to me, but I just want to tell you, when I look at the drawers and one's a little agape, it bothers me. It bothers me too, so I'm on your side here. But again, it's not about right or wrong. It's about saying, when they're all pushed all the way in flush, it makes me feel good. And if you do that, then I will start to associate your love for me with all the drawers being closed, and you'll reap the benefits.
Can I tell you where I thought you were heading with that? I thought we were going to say, is if you would say, make this a love thing, it would be like, she would be like, hey, baby, come over here to the dresser. And then she would have her hands on it, and
all
then she would
way.
say, put your hands on mine, and let's push together. And they would push it real good together, and they would push all the drawers in together.
No,
that's
it's
something
just,
I could get excited about.
It's just simply, I'm kind of telling her to make it something he could get excited about, but also say what it communicates when he does that, and she will notice.
Okay. Because then he'd start leaving all the drawers open all the time.
Right.
Yeah, because he wants to have a pushing session.
Yeah.
That would backfire.
Okay, before we get to another one, let's talk a little bit more about this grooming line. Listen, y'all.
Super proud of the packaging.
Totally redesigned.
It's all green. We're big fans of green.
It's a throwback. It's a throwback to the early days of Rhett and Link when everything was green. We were like, hey, you know what? Let's go full circle or come full circle. Go and come. I don't know. And everything's green.
We knew that we wanted to expand on our pomade, where it goes from the mighty but malleable original pomade to then include the clay pomade that's fierce but flexible.
And as a man,
I found myself needing something a little more firm, and I want your bases to be covered.
And as a man with a big bushy beard, the beard oil kind of keeps the beard conditioned, right? But it doesn't necessarily do a lot to keep the beard groomed as much, especially if you've got a really strong, wiry beard. So the balm, it's got a nice smell to it. You like that?
Yeah, I like all of the scents.
And it, it creates a little bit more of a hold here.
Speaking of scent, the subtly scented but soothing Mythical hand lotion is based on our Mythical No. 9 cologne.
That smells nice.
But I can't, so it's, I really love the cologne scent, and this is a more accessible price point, so you can still have that mythical scent about you, and also keep your hands hydrated or your entire body. I mean, there's enough here to slather an entire body, probably once, maybe 3 times.
I think I could get my whole body twice. But again, the thing that's kind of, in our minds, the centerpiece of this whole thing is this musical comb, because this thing, there's actually we collaborate with Beard and Lady, our friends Lance and Lacey, for all this stuff. And they came to us with a connection to a friend they had who has had this idea for this musical comb for like a long time, like since he was a child.
And he patented it when he was
as
like
a kid.
7 years old.
And we were like, well, this is the perfect thing to put the GMM theme song into.
Yeah, and so literally the length of the tines, if you look at the bottom, you can see that's what creates the different notes. It's not just in your head. It actually works.
They all meet at the bottom, of course, and they're all the same width. So you can actually, it's still a good comb, a good functional comb, but you get the added benefit of the...
You got to get the timing is up to you.
You got to get it.
Oh, that was good. Let me try. Yep. I'm not as good as you. I haven't been practicing as much.
It takes, I mean, it's like a musical instrument. It just takes a little bit. And then you get the timing down. And I feel like this is just the beginning.
Could probably do it on your teeth, too.
Like this is just the beginning of the musical comb.
And then, I got to break open this candy milk. Peculiarly perfect peanut butter peppermint lip balm lives on and is joined by, I got so much lotion on my hands, I can't open it.
While he's trying to open that, I will let you know, later. This is wood. It's not plastic. I thought that was a big deal because I thought, oh, it's just, no, this is made out of wood. That's not plastic.
All right, let's solve another lover's quarrel.
I was so enthralled by looking at all the grooming products, but yeah, I guess we can.
Oh, man. I love the smell of this lotion. I'm very happy with it.
It's kind of perfect because it's not too overpowering. Like, it's not the type of lotion that you walk into the room and you're like, whoa! But then there's like a nice smell that's for you.
Yeah, just for us.
For you.
A unisex
I mean, not for you,
ish type thing.
For the person wearing
My
it.
beard smells amazing right now, by the way.
Bubba Brittany. After 7 years, I recently found out my BF doesn't like French fries. Says they're just sticks of potato. It's hard for me to look at him the same.
I agree. Defriend him.
Oh, wow. You feel strongly about this.
Sticks of don't like fries? That's so weird. I've never met anybody who don't like fries.
But how would it take 7 years?
I don't think you should defriend him. I'm just joking.
My wife recently found out that
Who am I
didn't like sweet potato. And she was like, well, you've been eating it all this time. I was like, yeah, I just haven't really been liking it. But so maybe he's been eating sticks of potato for years, and he just finally got honest and said, you know what? I don't like these French fries we've been eating with every hamburger. I mean, how does this go for 7 years?
French fries are typically something you order for yourself. They're not something, of course you can have them and you can share them. But I think the bigger problem with French fries is when you order them and then people want to take them. So, Brittany, I think you might be in a good situation here. You just need to keep your mouth shut and eat your French fries and just let your BF just be on the losing end of this.
Here's one thing I'll add to this, is that I saw a study this past year that the amount of French fried potatoes is the term that they use in this particular study.
Okay.
That a person eats is one of the number one indicators of mortality, or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
so,
they're bad for you.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that French fries, I mean, we know that French fries are bad for you, but the more you eat French fries, the more diseases of, diabetes, cancer, stroke, heart attack, all that stuff that you have. And it might be a correlation, not a causation thing. I think there is some causation. So all that to say, Brittany, maybe
you need to cut back on your French fries.
Your BF is gonna outlive you because of this. Maybe you should just be happy about that.
Did you know there's a secret zipper pocket inside of the toiletry bag?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just high quality canvas with embroidery on it. We're doing you right with this. You will not be disappointed in any of these products. And if you are, you know what? Review it on Amazon. We're all ears. That's how confident we are that you're going to love this.
Whiplash X Smile. The topic of Elon Musk is forbidden in this house forever because we once had a huge fight concerning whether or not sending a Tesla to space against the advice of scientists was innovative or if it was just a douche move.
Wow, they can't even bring up his name. I mean,
he's a polarizing figure.
Yeah, that's definitely worth fighting over.
Well, it depends on your position on space junk. And I have, and I would expect that you also do, have a pretty strong opinion on space junk, having written a whole song about it.
I mean,
way back in the day.
Yeah.
For the Science Channel.
A toenail could decapitate a cosmonaut.
And, what is it I'm sure one of y'all back there knows, what is the effect where something starts breaking up in the low orbit and then all of a sudden it starts hitting other things and then you basically have this shield around the Earth? It's the something effect that they keep wondering is going to happen if two satellites hit one another and then the debris hits other things and then basically we can't even get outside of our orbit to travel into other parts of space. So I think Elon has whether he wanted to or not, he has contributed to the potential of that effect being catastrophic. And so I think this was a bad idea. I'm going to say it was a douche move. So whoever is on the side of this was a douche move is correct.
It's tough not to be able to talk about the world's richest man at all, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But probably not that hard, actually.
Yeah, just let it go.
Let's not talk about him anymore this episode.
At Skyface Bear.
Skyface Bear?
Skyface Bear.
The Skyface Bear?
Whether dogs have arms or 4 legs. Hear me out.
Okay.
A dog has 2 shoulders and hips. So what is on the end of shoulders? Arms! We've literally had stand-up shouting arguments over this. It's the hill I'm prepared to die on.
Okay.
Here lies Nick.
Skyface Bear.
He believed that dogs had arms. And that's what killed him.
This is really funny because just the other day, so Barbara does this thing where, and like most dogs do, where if you like stop petting her, she'll put her, and when she does this, I call it her hand. I call that her hand, and I know that it's a foot. Technically speaking,
well, it's a paw.
Yeah, technically speaking.
But he's saying it's not a foot. You're agreeing with him.
Well, no, here's what I'm going to say. I'm saying I am of two minds on this because technically speaking, it's 4 legs. And it's 4 legs because of the function of the leg is to hold a body up. An arm is not meant to hold up. That's how you distinguish. It has nothing to do with the shoulders. It has to do with the function. And that's why they say it's a 4-legged animal. They don't say it's a 2-arm, 2-leg, and they just happen to have 2 arms that are on the ground at all time. We distinguish between legs and arms based on the primary function. But when she uses her front legs like hands, when I'm interacting with her as like a human would, I consider them to be arms and hands. So it depends on what she's doing. If she's in bed with me, they're arms. If she's walking around the house, they're legs.
If she's in bed with you, they're arms.
Yeah, Barbara sleeps with me all the time.
But what is she doing with her arms to make them arms in bed?
Touching me. Saying, "Don't stop petting me." She puts her hand right on my face. Maybe I just want to think of it as a hand instead of a foot when it's on my face. Just right there.
Oh yeah, no, Ringo uses his front paws as hands 100%. Like no dog I've ever seen. Like he grabs things. Like he will grab your hand away. He will grab for things in a way that's very hand-like.
So in that case, they're hands, but when he's walking around, they're legs.
I think, Rhett, I agree with you in that arms and legs are not defined by if they come from shoulders or not. That's just not, that's a truism normally, but that's not the definition of an arm or a leg.
So we are telling at Skyface Bear to die on that hill. Yeah. I mean, to not die.
Rest in peace.
To die.
No, we're saying
we just disagree.
You need to come off that hill.
They can yell and be prepared to die.
Yeah, and it depends on if they have a dog and if that dog gets into bed with them.
It's tough though. It is tough.
Okay, it's the final one. At Alyssa Lipetz. Recently, my BF got mad at me because I wouldn't get off the toilet so he could pee. I told him to go in the shower, to which he refused and almost peed his pants because I refused to get up. What?
So she was on the toilet. He needed to pee really badly. I mean, she's on the toilet. Were you done?
I don't think so. This reminds me of a story from my childhood in which one of my friends and his dad were on a trip together. They were staying at a hotel with one bathroom. They were out together, and then they both realized that they had to do what we call the number 2, which is dookie. And they get home, and the son gets to the toilet before the father begins to do his business. But both of them were literally about to explode. And so as opposed to waiting, the dad leans over into the bathtub right next to the toilet in the hotel room and lets it fly. Father and son bonding. They will remain nameless. I think you know who it was.
They will be renamed when we
will
tell this
we
story.
will rename them. Chuck and Larry.
Hey, better than the sink. You know, you've got a bigger drain. I don't know. I don't want to get into
I
the
think
details.
sometimes you can make a space for somebody, and if he's got good aim, he could get right through there.
Yeah, Alyssa, just spread your legs and give him a
Spread your
target.
legs. Give him a target. I can hit a target that small. Like a rifle.
I mean, that is a trust exercise if he's going to try for a bank shot
We're going
off your
out
abdomen or something.
on a piece of advice of you telling her to spread her legs. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What we're saying specifically is she shouldn't get up off the toilet. She should spread her legs and he should pee in between her legs.
You
into
know
the
it's
toilet.
been done. You might like it.
You might like it.
Our grooming collection is growing. Shop the expanded Mythical Grooming Collection now at mythical.com.